your assets so that when you pass away, it makes it easy for your family to disperse them. Hi, I'm Claire at the Yanowitz Law Firm, and we have been helping families with probate and estate settlement for over 30 years now. Let's get started. So this movie is all about tips and tricks that we run into when helping families when a loved one passes away. And it's really can be a real difficult time when that happens. And so oftentimes a big concern for families while they're alive is I want to make this process as easy as possible for my kids. And that is such an honorable objective to have. Streamlining and getting things all set up when you're alive is so important, so that it can really reduce conflict and promote family harmony when a loved one passes away. So specifically, here's a couple of tips and tricks we've learned over the years. Timeshares. Sometimes people have timeshares that they bought a long time ago, but they're not really using them and they want to get rid of them. Their kids don't use them. And that's something to figure out while you're alive, how to get rid of them. Are you going to sell them? Is the company going to repurchase them? It's better to do that while you're alive than at death. We don't want them triggering probate. We don't have to want to value them for estate tax returns. And sometimes there's extra documents needed at death to transfer them. So better to get rid of them during your lifetime if you're not holding on to them for any particular reason. Another thing that I always tell people that they should do is if they have that bare land, small parcel, they're not really using it anymore, maybe it's hard to sell, and there's no purpose in holding on to it other than they just haven't gotten rid of it. It's much easier to get rid of it while you're alive. We don't want that real estate triggering probate, especially if it's in another state, because we might have to go through probate in another state if it's in another state. And we don't want to pay an attorney in another state to transfer it through beneficiary deed or through a trust. It's not worth paying that attorney. Better to just sell it. So that's another tip that I have on streamlining affairs. Sometimes I work with clients who have a lot of different accounts. They have 20 different bank accounts. Maybe they opened them for various good reasons over time, but now they're just working out of one or two accounts, but they have all of these other accounts open that they never bothered to close. It's a good idea to close those, consolidate accounts if there isn't any good particular reason to have them open, so that there's less accounts to close at the time of death. I think it's harder oftentimes to work on an estate that has 30 bank accounts that are all worth $50, $100, than it is to work on an estate that is larger asset-wise, but only has one or two bank accounts. So that is something to consider. Another thing that you should be thinking about is family heirlooms. Sometimes it's not valuable property that people fight over. It's the stuff that people have a lot of sentiment over. And so sometimes people are kind of like proactive during their lifetime. And as people are looking to declutter their houses, giving away those important family heirlooms during their lifetime. Or if you don't want to do that, we create what's called a personal property memorandum, where you should be specifically indicating who should receive those certain family heirlooms. It's very important that when you're describing the heirlooms that you don't connect them to their location. So you don't say, okay, the grandfather clock located in the living room, and then all of a sudden there's no grandfather clock in the living room at the time of your death. So it's important to describe them, but not where they're located per se, that being the only description. I've seen people create catalogs in the past with like pictures and identification SKUs. So it just kind of depends upon how important it is and how sentimental the family is about that property. So thank you so much for watching our video today. And if you have any questions on how you can best streamline your affairs so that things are slick, easy, not costly, promote family harmony at the time of passing, we're here to help. Give us a call. Our number is 507-252-8997. Thank you.